Healthcare professionals, medical terminology. In this video, we will learn about the origin of medical terminology, the three word parts used to create medical terms, and how medical terms are formed and how to understand them. We will briefly look at the standardized language of medicine. Medical terms are made up of mostly Greek or Latin word parts. If you understand the word parts separately, you will be able to understand more complex medical terms. It's impossible to memorize every definition in the medical dictionary, so a better method is to learn the different parts that make up these complex medical terms. The word parts include a prefix, a root, and a suffix. The prefix comes at the beginning of a word, and it's used to add more information about the description, such as the size, location, color, etc. Not all words have a prefix. The root is the basic meaning of a term. It often describes the body part. The suffix comes at the end of a word and describes the condition, procedure, disorder, or disease. Not all medical terms have a prefix, but they all have a root and a suffix. When you see these word parts alone, in a dictionary for example, you can identify them by a hyphen or forward slash. A hyphen is used after a prefix, and it is used before a suffix. And a root word is followed by a forward slash. Now let's look at roots. One root we will focus on in this lecture is the root tonsil, and this is used for anything related to your tonsils. Another root is gaster, and this is used for anything related to the stomach. We also will look at the root gnat, and this is related to birth, being born, babies. And another root is cardi, and this is related to the heart. So let's work on adding suffixes to roots to create medical terms. So we will look at the roots tonsil and gaster. And the first suffix is itis. Itis means inflammation. So if we add this suffix to the root tonsil, we get tonsillitis, which means inflammation of the tonsils. We can also add this suffix to the root gaster, and we get gastritis, which means inflammation of the stomach. Another suffix is ectomy. Ectomy means surgical removal. If we add this to the root tonsil, we have tonsillectomy, which means that you have a surgical removal of your tonsils. Another suffix is alga, and we can add this suffix to the root gaster. This suffix means pain, and if we add it to gaster, we get gastralgia, and this means stomach pain. Another common term for this is stomach ache, but the medical term is gastralgia. Now let's look at some prefixes, and we will use the roots nat and cardi. The first prefix is pre, and this means before. If we add this to the root nat, we get prenatal, which means anything related to the time before a baby is born. The opposite meaning of pre is post, and this means after. And if we add this to the root nat, we get postnatal, which means anything related to the time after birth. Another prefix is tachy. Tachy means fast. So we can add this prefix to the root cardi, and we get tachycardia, which means fast heart action. The opposite meaning is brady. Brady means slow. So we can also add this to the root cardi, and we get bradycardia, which means slow heart action. So the prefixes in these words are pre, post, tachy, and brady, and we use these with roots to create medical terms. This is the end of the lecture. After listening to this lecture, you should know the origin of medical terminology, the 3 word parts used to create medical terms, and how medical terms are formed and how to understand them. You can review this video as many times as you need, and when you are ready, you can continue in this lesson to complete practice activities.